Hello. I definitely recommend having something to use as a strap today. So either an actual yoga strap, a bit of rope, a towel, a belt, whatever you have accessible. As always, I recommend having something to use as a block or two, be it an actual yoga block, Tupperware boxes, a stack of books, water, something to drink, and a towel to wipe off with. If there's anything specific you want to focus on, put it in a comment on the video, and we will see what we can do. Just gonna give people a couple more minutes to wander in for the class. And how's everyone doing today? Alright, just to reiterate, I recommend having a block or two, as always, so you have a little bit of extra support. If you don't have actual yoga blocks, you can use a stack of books, you can use some cardboard boxes, you could use some Tupperware, whatever you have. And I definitely recommend having a strap today, be it an actual yoga strap, a towel, a piece of rope, a belt, whatever you have accessible. I'm gonna give people just a minute or two more. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Come to the back of your mat, or excuse me, come to your back on the mat. There we go. Bring your soles of your feet together, let your knees fall wide. Just for a Supta Baddha Konasana, recline bound diagonal pose here for a little bit. You can either just let your knees fall, or if you need a little bit more support, and grab your blocks. Place your blocks under your knees. Just provide a little extra support. Option to have your arms to your sides. You can also rest one hand on your heart, one on your belly. Close your eyes. Start to settle into your space. Take any micro adjustments you need. Maybe bring your shoulder blades a little closer together to provide a shelf for your heart. Adjust your hips, adjust your arms, however you need, and then just relax here for a few breaths. Start to bring your awareness to the breath. Especially if you have your one hand in your heart, one in your belly, you can literally feel the rise and fall of your breath. Let's start to deepen the breath. Exhale all of your air. Take a nice big inhale, let your belly come up towards the sky, let your chest expand. And reverse that exhale, bring your chest back in and then your belly. Inhale, belly up, chest expand. And exhale, let your chest come down, then your belly. 3 more breaths. And they don't have to move a lot, just feel them move as much as they do. One more breath in. And out. If you're using blocks, gently remove the blocks. Let your legs go long. Oh, grab your strap. My apologies. Have your strap with you. Bend your right knee. Loop your strap, your towel, your belt on the bottom of your right foot, and then extend your right foot up towards the sky. Drag your heel up towards the sky, flex your toes towards your face. Take both ends of your strap into your right hand. Perhaps wrap said strap around your hand. Both hips remain on the ground. And gently pull your foot higher towards your face with a fairly straight leg, going for a stretch in your hamstring, specifically with the leg perpendicular to the hips. We're stretching the lateral hamstring, the hamstring further out from the midline of the body. And with the toes flexed towards your face, you also probably feel a stretch in your calves. Your left leg can either be long against your mat or bend the knee and bring your foot down to the earth. Whatever's more comfortable in your body. One more breath in. And out. Bring your left arm out to the left, reaching to the left side of the room. And then slowly bring your right leg out to the right. Still pulling up towards your head, but now we're also adding a stretch for your adductors, the inner thigh muscles. Maybe close your eyes and really bring your awareness to your leg. 2 more breaths. One more breath in. And out. Slowly bring your foot back up over your hips. Switch your grip. We're going to bring the strap to your left hand now. Wrap that strap around your hand. Or if you just have a towel, just grip it tightly in your left hand. Reach your right hand out to the right. Try to keep your hips, both hips, down towards the earth. And then slowly let your right leg drift to the left. And still pulling up, so you're stretching still the lateral hamstring once more. When we came to the right, we were stretching more the medial hamstring, the hamstring closer to the center of the body. Now we're back to the lateral hamstring, but we're also stretching the abductors, the abductors, and perhaps in your hip as well, which is part of the abductor group. A couple more breaths here. One more breath in. And out. Inhale, slowly come back up. Foot over your hips. So we're going to switch legs. One way that I find to switch my legs on the strap is to literally thread my left foot into the loop, still with my right foot. Switch my feet so now the strap is mainly around my left foot, and then slide my right foot out. Again, you can either have the right knee bent with your foot on the ground, or you can stretch your right leg long. The strap should still be around your left hand. Gently pull your left foot up towards your face. Flex your toes towards your hip. Drive your heel up towards the sky. You can either use one hand or both. Gently pull your foot closer to your face. Couple more breaths. One breath in. And out. Reach your right hand out to the right on the ground. Slowly let your left foot drift out to the left. So because our legs are now wider than perpendicular to our hips, you'll feel a stretch in the hamstring, but the inner hamstring, the medial hamstring, going closer to the midline of the body as you draw your foot up towards your head. But you'll also feel it in the adductor group, the inner thigh muscles, perhaps in your groin, perhaps closer to the knee, perhaps in the middle. Everybody's different. One more breath in. And out. Slowly draw the foot back up over your hips. And then switch your grip. Bring your right hand to the strap, wrap the strap around your hand, or just clutch both ends of your strap, towel, belt, whatever, in your right hand. And slowly let your foot drift to the right. You'll stretch in your abductor group, your abductors, and into the left hip. Try to keep the left hip fairly low to the ground, if not touching the ground. Still pulling your foot up towards your face a bit. 2 more breaths. One more breath in. And out. Slowly bring your foot back up above your hips. And then bend the left knee, remove your strap, set your strap aside. Bring both feet on the ground. And then float your knees up over your hips. Parallel your shins to the ground, both arms out to a T. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let both knees fall to the left for a gentle supine twist here. Turn your head to the right to complete the twist in your cervical spine, the vertebra in your neck. 2 more breaths. Slowly inhale your knees back up over your hips, and then let your knees, both knees drift to the right. And turn your gaze to the left. For this gentle supine twist. 2 more breaths. Slowly bring the knees back up and in. Grab the backs of your knees. Grab your hamstrings just up by your knees. Gently rock forward and back along the spine. Come up to a seat. And across your ankles, plant your palms and step back to a tabletop. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Hips over your knees. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Parallel your spine to the ground. And turn your gaze down between your hands. Untuck your toes. If at any point in any sort of kneeling position, if this is too much in your knees, really try to press your, you can add padding. You can either roll up your mat from the outside in to provide a double layer of yoga mat, and also take a small hand towel, fold it up, place it underneath your knee. Something in general to bring pressure off your knee while you're in a kneeling position, either both knees down or one, is to really press your shins into the ground. With fingers wide, inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly down, turn your gaze up to the sky, arch your tail up. And exhale, cat pose. Arch your back up towards the sky, bring your tailbone towards your face and bring your nose towards your belly button, chin to chest. Inhale, cow. Drop your belly down, draw your shoulder blades together and down your back. And exhale, cat. Spread your shoulder blades apart from one another as you bring your back up towards the sky. Float the 3 more rounds of cat and cow on your own. Even out your sides, and then come back to a neutral tabletop. Inhale your left hand forward and your right foot back. So your left arm and right leg are now parallel with the ground. Drop your right hip down so your hip remains square to the earth. Rotate your left palm so your thumb faces up, and flex your right toes towards your face. Inhale your heel and your thumb up a little bit higher in the spinal balance. You can feel free to stay here. For a little bit more, you can inhale, reach up a little higher, engage your right glute, and then exhale, crunch your elbow and knee together, arch your back up towards the sky. Bring your chin to your chest. Inhale, reach out nice and long and up. And exhale, crunch your knee and elbow together. 3 more. Inhale, reach nice and long. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Last one, inhale, reach, and exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach out nice and long. Maybe your heel up even higher, thumb up higher. And then exhale, set both your hand and your knee down. We're going to switch sides. Inhale your right hand forward, thumb facing up. Kick your left heel back, parallel your leg to the ground. Flex your toes towards your face. Inhale, engage left glute, lift your your right thumb up. Option to stay here, option also to crunch your elbow to knee. March your back up towards the sky, bring your chin towards your chest. Inhale, reach out nice and long. Exhale, crunch. 3 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. 1 more. Inhale, reach. And exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach up nice and long, maybe up as high, the highest yet. And exhale, set both your hand and knee down. It's just a little bit of core activation, as more advanced yoga postures require more core activation and strength. Tuck your toes underneath you. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shift your hips up and back. Send your chest towards your thighs and your hips up and back towards the top of the wall behind you. Bend your left knee, straighten your right leg, let your right heel really come down towards the earth. If your heel does make contact, walk your hand forward a handprint, just so that you have a little bit more to stretch with. Keep your hips square to the earth. Feel a stretch in your right hamstring and calf. Switch legs, straighten your left leg, bend your right knee. Feel a stretch along your left calf and hamstring. And feel free to take a couple other movements just to alternate the legs, which one is stretching, just for a moment. And then send both heels down. With your fingers nice and wide, try to bring your weight to your thumb and forefinger out of the wrist a little bit. Send both heels down towards the earth. Send your shoulders away from your ears. Send your chest towards your thighs. If you find your back is kind of curved, bend your knees a bit to remove some stretch from your hamstring and find an even deeper down dog by setting your chest closer to your thighs, finding a flatter back. Try to remember how this feels. This is our home base. We're going to come back to this posture many times throughout the class. Try to come back to this sensation. Inhale, look forward, eyes between your hands, hips still up and back. And then exhale, ragdoll. Walk your feet behind your wrists. Feet remain hip or shoulder width distance. A generous bend in your knees so your low belly can rest on your thighs. Option to let your arms and head just hang heavy. Option to grab opposite elbows with both arms. So your right hand grabs your left elbow, left hand grabs the right elbow. Let your head hang heavy still. Leave your hips and legs exactly where they are, and then from the low back, sway your torso left and right. Your arms are only dangling here. You're not twisting the torso. You're just letting the torso tick and talk, like the pendulum of a grandfather clock. Then come back to center. Relax your arms down. Bend your knees slightly more. And then with your head remaining heavy, slowly roll up to a stand, one vertebra at a time. Let your head come up last. When you do reach the top, take a couple shoulder rolls. One direction, and then the other. And then draw your hands together in front of your heart, thumbs against your sternum, close your eyes. I want you to think about what you want to get out of today's practice, what you want to bring into the rest of your day. Be it a little peace, a little joy, a little contentment. Find this feeling, find this sensation, bring this to the forefront of your mind, and let this expand throughout your entire body. Let this feeling expand throughout every cell of your body, completely enveloping you. Try to dedicate this next hour to this feeling, to this sensation, to cultivate this and bring it into the rest of your day. To help seal this intention, exhale all your air. Inhale through your nose, fill up. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Drop your hands to your sides, flutter your eyes open. Walk your feet together, big toes to touch, tiny sliver of space between your heels. If you're too wobbly here, you can always keep your feet hip width distance. But I recommend working with a challenge a little bit to keep your toes together, a little bit of space in between your heels. Inhale, mountain pose, sweep your arms up to the sky. Engage your quads to lift them up off your kneecaps. Tuck the tailbone slightly. So instead of splaying your ribs out, pull your ribs in and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and down your back. Inhale, lengthen the crown of your head up high. And exhale, forward fold. Hands through heart center, hinge down towards the earth. Try to keep your legs fairly straight here for kind of a fairly passive hamstring stretch as you reach down. Inhale, halfway lift, press your palms to either your shins or your thighs. Avoid the knees to help protect the knees. You want to find a nice flat back here. Again, if you find your back is curved, bend the knees to flatten your back to remove some stretch from your hamstrings. Draw your shoulders together and down your spine with your gaze down about a foot in front of your mat. Lengthen your neck forward. Inhale. Exhale, high plank and hold. Push the ground away. Try to keep your hips and your shoulders at the same height from the floor. Inhale. Shift forward onto your tipped toes and then lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes. Zip up your legs like one long limb. Press the tops of your feet into the earth. Engage the legs, lift your kneecaps up. Slide your hands back so your fingertips are at nipple level. Do not press down with your hands. Just let your hands rest on the ground. Inhale, baby cobra. Lift your chest up using your low back. Turn your gaze down about 6 inches in front of your mat to help protect your neck. Inhale your chest up a little bit higher. And then exhale, lower back down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, retuck your toes. So either come up into a tabletop or press up into high plank. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. That whole sequence is our sun salutation A. We're going to flow through that 2 more times, moving one breath to one movement. If you happen to use chaturanga, either with the knees up or down in your practice already, feel free to work that in instead of the baby cobra. For the purpose of today's class, I'm going to be using the baby cobra for the video. Inhale, look forward, eyes between your hands. Exhale, walk, hop, jump to the top of your mat. Bring your feet together at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, parallel your spine to the ground. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, sweep your arms up to the sky. Reach up, lift your crown up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands through heart center or swan dive down. Hinge at the hips. Reach the top of your head down to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, parallel your spine once more. Gaze down. Exhale, high plank. Lower all the way down. Untuck your toes. Inhale, baby cobra, lift up. Exhale, lower. Retuck your toes. Inhale, press up. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time through. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk, hop, jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Always remember you can bend your knees and halfway lift. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach your fingertips up towards the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Parallel your spine once more. Exhale, high plank. Step back, top of a push-up, and then lower all the way down. Untuck your toes. Inhale, baby cobra, lift up. Exhale, lower. Retuck your toes. Inhale, press up. Exhale, downward facing dog. So that's your sun A. We're going to move on to sun B. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Shift your weight into your heels, bend your knees, take your hips back and down, and then float your biceps up by your ears. So we're creating a lightning shape with the body. Your weight is in your heels. You want to make sure so that when you look down, you can still see your toes. Generally speaking, the closer to knees over your ankles is generally better. Squeeze your thighs together, tuck your tailbone slightly, pull your lower ribs in and down, float the biceps up towards your ears with your fingers long. Inhale, sink your hips back and down, 1 more inch, if not more. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planche palm, step back, lower all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Try to leave your left leg and your hips exactly where they are. Inhale your right leg up and back towards the top of the wall behind you, down dog kick. If your right hip lifted up, pull it back down so your hips are parallel to the ground. Let your left heel melt down. Flex your right toes toward your face. Try to drive your right heel up and back to the top of the wall behind you. Engage your right glute to lift your heel up a little bit higher. Inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Now you always have the option to crunch your knee forward, knee to chest or knee to nose, for a little bit more core activation when you set your foot down. Now, as you're coming forward, if your foot stops halfway, that's okay. Just grab your ankle and assist it forward. From this low lunge, ankle over knee, back heel over back ball mount. Inhale, warrior two, spiral the back heel down, blossom open to the left side of your mat, shoulders over your hips. Stack your front knee over your front ankle. I know I'm facing away from the camera. I'll give better directions on the other side from a front point of view. So stack the front knee over the front ankle, roll your weight to the outside edge of your back foot. Tuck the tailbone slightly with your hips and shoulders square to the left side of your mat. Drive your right arm forward, drive your left arm back. Turn your gaze over right fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, extend that angle. Bring your right forearm to your thigh. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Now you can feel free to stay here with your forearm on your thigh. You can also reach your right arm on the inside of your right leg for the ground. Try to not move your torso if you switch from forearm to reaching. Keep the core engaged to lift your heart up towards the sky. Inhale, reverse warrior. Keep your front knee over front ankle. Float your front arm up and back to try and touch the top of the wall behind you. Your back hand can either slide down your back leg, little to no weight in your hand. You can also bend the elbow, wrap it around your low back for a half bind. Keep your hips and shoulders square to the left side of your mat so that this guarantees a side stretch rather than a back bend. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel down. Reframe your right foot. Step back to high plank. You can keep this right foot lifted for a little bit more challenge and lower all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Retuck your toes. Inhale, press up. Exhale, down dog. Second side. Try to keep your right heel low. Keep your left hip where it is. Reach your left leg up and back, down dog kick. If the left hip lifted, drop it back down so your hips are parallel to the ground. Flex your toes toward your face. Use your left glute to lift your left heel up a little bit higher. And then exhale, low lunge. Again, option to crunch your knee forward and step it between your hands. Again, if your foot stops about halfway, just grab your ankle and assist it forward. Spiral the back heel down. Inhale, warrior two, shoulders over hips. Reaching for the front of back space. Try to let your left knee track to the left pinky toe and slightly externally rotate so you want to slightly bring the right knee up towards the sky a little bit. These movements help activate the muscles in your hips and your glutes, helping strengthen the stabilizer muscles in your hip joints. Reach for the front and back space. Option to spread your hands wide to activate your forearms. Inhale. Exhale, forearm to thigh. Reach your right arm up. Extend to that angle. Option to stay here. Option to reach for the ground, especially if you did on the other side. So if you notice, from forearm to reaching, my torso doesn't move. This is to help build some core strength and stabilization in the back. You do always have the option to press your bottom arm into the thigh to help increase the twist of your heart up towards the sky. Try to keep your legs exactly as they are. Inhale, reverse warrior. Float your left hand up and back. Again, option to slide your back hand down your leg or take the half bind. Relax your shoulders down your back as you face your palm towards the back wall. Drive your arm up and back. Inhale. And then exhale, cartwheel down. Step back and lower. All the way down. Option to keep the left foot lifted as you lower. Inhale, baby cobra, lift up. Maybe a little bit higher than before. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press up.
Exhale, downward facing dog. So that was our sun salutation B. We're going to flow through that 2 more times. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk, hop, jump to the top of your mat. Feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, hips back and down. I'm just going to take a second to point out something. This is still chair pose. It doesn't matter how far down you are. Anywhere from this to this is still chair pose. Find what's successful in your body. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planche pose, step back, lower all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, your right leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge, option to crunch your knee forward. Inhale, warrior 2, spiral open to the left side of your mat. Reach for the front of back space. Always option for that glute activation to track your right knee out. Exhale, rotate the back leg as you reach the front of back space. Exhale, extend the set angle, tick-tock forward and down, either forearm to thigh or reach for the ground. Inhale, reverse warrior, float your front arm up and back. Option for the half bind. Exhale, cartwheel down, step back, lower halfway down. Or excuse me, all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Retuck your toes. Inhale, press up. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg. Inhale, your left leg up and back. Melt your right heel down. Exhale, low lunge. Option to crunch your leg forward. Set your foot down. Inhale, warrior 2. Spiral open to the right side of your mat. Go for that leg activation if you want it. Exhale, extend the side angle, either forearm to thigh or reach for the ground. And then gaze up past your right fingertips towards the sky. Keep your gaze lifted as you inhale, reverse warrior, float your left arm up and back. Maybe tilt back a little bit further still. And exhale, cartwheel down, step back and flow. All the way down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, down dog. We have one more round of Sun B. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk, hop, jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees and hips back and down, flip your biceps up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, punch palm, step back, lower all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, your right leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior 2. Draw your left hand back, right hand forward. Reach for the front of back space. Exhale, extend the side angle, tick-tock, forward and down, either forearm to thigh or reach for the earth. Inhale, draw your right hand up and back, drawing the earth up to the sky. And then exhale. Cartwheel down, step back and go all the way down. Option to keep the back foot lifted as always. Inhale, or the right foot lifted. Up, and exhale down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last side. Inhale your left leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior 2. Turn your gaze forward over your front fingertips as you stack your shoulders over your hips. Exhale, extend the side angle, tick-tock forward and down. Reach for the earth and the sky. Inhale, reverse warrior. Float your left arm up and back. And then exhale, cartwheel down, step back and flow. All the way down. Inhale, baby cobra, lift up, gaze down, exhale down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, have a seat. Take this moment to towel off, get a drink of water. And when you're ready, we'll go back and downward facing dog. Okay, back in downward facing dog. Something to note here, when you go from a high plank, wrists directly underneath your shoulders, feet hip width distance, hands shoulder width distance, this is the exact same placement in high plank that is in down dog for your hands and feet. All you do is you shift your hips up and back. It's the exact same distance between your hands to your feet, as well as hands to hands and feet to feet. So from down dog, let's resettle, reconnect the breath, exhale all your air. Inhale through your nose, fill up. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge, draw your right foot between your hands. Gently set the left knee down, untuck your toes. Bring the right hand to the top of your right thigh. Press up, bring the left hand on top of your right hand. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward to square your hips to the front of your mat. Engage your left glute, tuck your tailbone slightly. Keep your shoulders back, maybe press your shin into the ground to remove some pressure from your knee. You can always place padding underneath your back knee. And then exhale, shift your hips forward and down with a slight back bend. Keep your shoulders back. Feel a stretch in the front of your left hip flexor. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, shift forward and down. Inhale, rise back up. 3 more rounds. Exhale, forward and down. Keep the left glute engaged. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one, inhale up. And exhale down. Now, you can always stay here with your back knee down. If you want to come up into high crescent lunge, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Everyone reach your arms up. To help with your balance, find something in front of you that does not move. This could be a light switch, it could be a hinge on a door, it could be a doorknob, it could be a spot on the wall. Find something that doesn't move. This is your focal point, your drishti. It'll help with your balance. However, if you're still feeling pretty wobbly, you can walk your right foot, your front foot, out a step or two to widen the distance between your legs horizontally. With arms up high, exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, tilt your torso forward. Exhale, revolve, crescent lunge, either with the back knee up or down. You can even take in high crescent lunge and then come back down to your knee for the twist, to focus on the twist rather than the balance. Create a straight line from elbow through wrist to opposite elbow. Press your elbow into your thigh as well as your right hand into your left hand. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Try to bring your heart back to your thumbs. Now, if this elbow to thigh connection isn't accessible for you, for whatever reason, you can always take an open arm twist variation to just reach your right hand back, left hand forward. Shine your heart to the right side of the room. And you can even take that front hand, place it on the outside of the front thigh to gently press against to increase the twist. Find what works for you and your body. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Last inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale, runner's lunge. Plant your palms on the inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot out to the right edge of your mat and a little forward, so your ankle's in front of your knee. I personally like to walk my back leg back a little bit to bring my hips further back and further down and forward towards the earth. This creates a little bit more stretch in the front of the left hip. You might feel it also in the inner thigh of the right leg. Options stay here on your forearms, on your hands rather. Options also to come down to your forearms, be it forearms to the ground, or forearms to a block, a pillow, a box, a bit of Tupperware, whatever you have accessible. Second books. Find what works for you and your body. Whatever variation you're in, option to let your head hang heavy. Relax your neck and head. You could even nod your head yes, shake your head no, start to loosen up your neck. Maybe do figure eights with your head. Whatever feels good to you. Feel free to stay here. If you want a little bit more, we can go into a quad stretch. Come back up to your palms, bring down your forearms. Bring your weight to your left hand. Reach your right hand back towards the back of your mat. Bend your left knee to capture your right foot with your left foot with your right hand. There we go. Gently pull your heel towards your glute as you sink your hips forward and down. This extension in the hip guarantees that you're stretching all 4 quad muscles. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in and out. If you took the quad stretch, gently release the back leg. Bring both palms down to the ground. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Everyone step your right leg back. Shift your weight into your left hand. Let both heels to the left. Inhale your right hand up to the sky. Feel free to stay here in the side plank. You need to modify it. You can drop the bottom knee down and kickstand the foot behind you. For a version of horizons lunge, you can take your top leg, slide it up halfway up the mat. Now this can also be just a modified side plank, but for the stretching the outer part of the left hip, let your hips sink down, reach your back hand to the back of the room. Keep the bottom leg engaged. Feel the stretch along your side and into the left hip, the outer part of the left hip, in the abductor area. 1 breath in and out. Inhale, rise back, your hips back up, step back, come into high plank, right hand down. Inhale, and just exhale down or facing dog. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale your left leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge, straight up between your hands. Gently set the back knee down. Left hand to the top of your left thigh. Press up, bring your right hand to the top of your left hand. Pull your left hip back, right hip forward. Square yourself in front of the room. Untuck your back toes. Gently press your shin down. Engage the right glute. Tuck the tailbone slightly. Keep the shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, send your hips forward and down for the stretch in the front of your right hip, your hip flexor. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, forward and down. 3 more rounds. Inhale up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink. 1 more. Inhale up. And exhale down. Option to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee for a high crescent lunge. Reach your arms up. You can keep the back knee down if you wish. Draw your left hip back, right hip forward. Just keep your hips square to the front of the room. Shoulders over your hips. From the hips up, this is just mountain pose. So find the same variation that you did earlier in the sequence. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale your torso forward. Exhale, revolve crescent lunge. Either knee up or knee down in the back leg. Hook your right elbow on the outside of your left thigh. Or if you took the open arm twist variation on the other side, either back knee up or down, do that again here. And of course, if you need to walk your front foot out a little bit, that's fine too. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, twist, and bring your heart back to your thumbs. 2 more breaths. Last breath in and out. Now last breath in. And exhale, runner's lunge. Punch palms to the inside of your front foot. Walk your front foot out to the left edge of your mat and a little forward. Set the back knee down if it isn't already. Untuck the toes. We're going to try to find the same variation you did on the other side. Either up on the palms, down in the forearms, either forearms to ground or forearms to block. Take a moment, let your head hang heavy. Option to shake yes, shake no, figure 8, so that it feels good in your neck. You can also open and close your mouth to help release your jaw. Feel free to stay here. If you took the quad stretch on the other side, come back up to your palms, bring your weight into your right hand. Lift your left hand up and back towards the back of the room, bend your right leg, bring your foot into your left hand. Gently bring your heel towards your glute with your hips further down and forward. And if your wrist is ever feeling a little wonky in the bottom hand, feel free to come up to a fist. Put the ring side of your knuckles down. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale a little bit deeper. Inhale. And exhale. Release the back leg. Bring both palms back down. Tuck your back toes, hip back knee, step back, high plank. Shift both heels to the right. Stack your hips. Inhale the left hand up, side plank. You can feel to stay here. You can drop the bottom knee down for modified variation. For the horizons lunge stretch, slide your top leg forward so your foot's about halfway up your mat, toes facing to the left side of your mat. And let your hips sink down towards the earth. Reach your left hand to the back of the room. Feel stretch in the outer part of your right hip. One more inhale. And exhale. Inhale, rise back up, reach your left hand up. Let's step your left foot back, bring your left hand down, high plank, inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, come down to your knees. Extend your legs out long in front of you. Alright. Have your strap available. So you can always do a seated forward fold without the strap. You can just reach up, hinge forward, and grab what's accessible, your calves, ankles, feet. Grab what you can reach with a nice flat back and hinge yourself forward. Try to keep your back fairly flat. For those who wish to use the strap, loop the strap along the bottom of your feet with your feet flexed towards your face. I recommend taking the strap, both ends of the strap in one hand and then cup that hand with the other hand. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, hinge forward. Use your biceps to gently pull yourself a little bit deeper. You can always walk your hands forward on the strap when you find your depth. Cup your hand on the strap with the opposite hand to help keep your shoulders square to the space in front of you. Inhale, lengthen your heart towards your toes. Exhale, hinge a little bit deeper, bring your belly closer to your thighs. And if your low back is bothering you in this, you can always bend the knees to remove some stretch from your hamstring to help stretch the low back instead. One more breath in, lengthen. And exhale, sink. Fold, rather. Release your grip on the strap. Inhale, slowly come up, set the strap aside. We're now going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So widen your legs as much as is comfortable. Flex your toes towards your face. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hinge forward. Now, if you don't shift forward that very much, that's okay. You can always take a block, place it underneath your hips. If you're having trouble finding that kind of seat above your hips, and then hinge forward from here. It gives you a little bit more leverage to hinge forward. Two more breaths. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. You can either just reach your arms forward or grab your calves, ankles, feet to gently pull yourself forward with your biceps. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Slowly come up. So now we're actually going to do a similar stretch, but to one side to help stretch the low back. So reach your right hand up, and bring it to the outside of your left leg, be it your calf area, your ankle, or your shin. Bring your left hand about a foot and a half to the left side of your leg. Square your hips towards your ankles. Inhale, and exhale, hinge forward. Walk your hand further along your legs as much as you need, and then use your right bicep to gently pull yourself deeper. Try to keep both your hips on the floor. Inhale, lengthen your heart towards your toes. Exhale, hinge a little bit more. One more, lengthen. And exhale, hinge. Release your grip, slowly come up. Rotate your chest to face your right leg. Inhale your left hand up, and then exhale, bring it to the outside of your calf, ankle, or foot. Avoid the knee to help protect the knee. Right hand on the ground, about a foot to the right of your right leg. Inhale, pump up your chest, and exhale, hinge towards your right foot. Finger curl your hand closer to your ankle or your foot. Inhale your heart towards your toes. Exhale, hinge a little bit deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Feel a stretch at the left side of your low back. Last inhale. And exhale, hinge. Inhale, slowly come up. Bring your legs together. I'm kind of forward on the mat, so I'm going to scoot back so my feet are at the top of the mat. And then come on down to the back. Bend your knees, bring your heels close to your glutes. We're going to come into a bridge pose, but might be a little different than you're used to. Bring your arms to your sides. Now, you're going to bend your elbows with straight fingers, point your fingers directly up to the sky. We're creating robot arms with your arms here. So your tricep, your elbow, and your shoulders are all on the ground, whereas everything else is pointing up towards the sky. So with your feet and knees hip width distance, inhale, bridge pose, lift your hips up towards the sky. Keep your feet and knees hip width distance. Now notice the difference here. When it's just your hips lifting, and then when you engage the arms, press the triceps and elbows down into the earth, it helps send your chest closer to your chin, draw your chin further away from your chest. This increases the arch in your thoracic spine. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale your hips up a little bit more. Maybe press into your arms a little bit more. And exhale. Inhale your heels up. Bring the palms back down to the ground. Slowly lower your back down 1 vertebra at a time. The lifted heel helps make sure that your pelvis comes down last. And when your pelvis does hit the ground, bring both heels down, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, let the right knee fall open. So we're going to do a slight variation of a figure 4 stretch here for your hips. Bring your right hand to the outside of your right leg. Bring your left hand to your right shin. So we're going to do a bit of a contract relax motion to help with release in the hip. So you're going to press your right thigh into your right hand and kick your right shin into your left hand. Take a deep breath in while you press into both hands. Hold the breath and this activation for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then exhale, relax your leg, except still flex your toes towards your right knee. Grab your left hamstring with both hands, your right hand will reach between the legs, bring your head back down, hug your left knee into your chest. You might find that you're able to go a little bit deeper with this contract relax motion. A couple more breaths here. More breaths. Last breath in and out. Gently release your left leg, bring your left foot back down to the ground. Bring your right foot back down to the ground and then cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Let your left knee fall open. Bring your left hand to the outside of your left leg, your left thigh. Bring your right hand to your left shin. Press your thigh into your left hand. Kick your shin into your right hand. Inhale. Hold your breath with this activation for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax the left leg. Grab your right hamstring with both hands. Gently pull your knee to your chest. If you can get your knee close enough, you can always move your hands from your hamstring to your shin. This side might feel a little tighter or a little looser than the other. This is perfectly normal as our bodies are built asymmetrically. I do recommend flexing your left toes towards your left knee to help protect your left knee. Couple more breaths here. Gently release the right leg. Bring your left leg back down, left foot back down to the ground. Bring your arms out to a T. Now you can either take the same supine twist variation we did at the beginning of class, where you float both knees above the hips and then shift both knees to one side. You can also take a slightly more, I don't say intense, but more bigger variation. Pull your right knee in towards your right shoulder. Let your left leg come down to the ground. Inhale, squeeze your right knee in nice and tight. And then exhale with your left leg still straight, reaching for the front of the room. Send your right knee to the left. Stack your right hip on top of your left. Keep both shoulder blades glued to the ground. Reach your right hand out to the right and turn your gaze past your right fingertips. Your left hand can gently rest on your right thigh. Avoid your knee to help protect your knee. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Maybe twist deeper still. Inhale, slowly bring your right knee back into your chest. Draw your left knee into your chest to meet your right. And then stretch your right leg down along the mat toward the top of the room. Inhale your left knee in towards your left shoulder. And then exhale, supine twist. Send your left knee to the right. Stack your left up on top of your right. Glue both shoulder blades down. Reach your left hand out to the left. Turn your gaze to the left, if that's comfortable in your neck. Option to rest your right hand on your left thigh. Remember to avoid your knee. Two more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, maybe twist slightly more. Inhale slowly, bring your knee back into your chest. Draw your right knee in to meet your left. Feel free to take any last minute movements your body is calling for. Otherwise, curl up in the smallest ball you can. Wrap your forearms around your shins, forehead up towards your knees. Inhale, squeeze everything nice and tight. And then exhale, final Shavasana. Let your legs come down. Nice and long, feet splay wide. Rest your arms at your sides. Palms can either face up or face down. That's up to you. What feels good in your body. Maybe draw your shoulder blades slightly closer together to create a shelf for your heart. And then close your eyes after taking whatever micro adjustments your body might need. You've worked hard for these past 60 minutes. Take these next few moments to just relax. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, only to be. Feel free to stay here as long as you wish. If you need to move on, start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, roll out your ankles, roll out your wrists, draw your right ear to the mat, and then your left. Draw your fingers towards the back of the room, toes to the front room, stretch everything out nice and long, and then float your knees up over your hips. Roll onto your right or left side, yogi's choice for fetal position. Use your bottom bicep like a pillow. Try to keep your eyes closed. Let Shavasana close this chapter of your day, while fetal pose begins the next one. Try to keep your eyes closed, press yourself up to a seat facing the front of the room. Draw your hands together in front of your heart, shoulders down. Exhale all your air. Inhale through your nose, fill up. Open mouth, let it go. Inhale your thumbs from your heart to the point between your eyebrows, connecting your heart to your mind at your third eye center. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, bow forward. Om Namaste. Alright everyone, thank you for joining for class today. I hope that felt good for everyone. If you have any questions, any feedback, things that you liked, things that you didn't, feel free to either reach out to me directly or put a comment in the video.
Today's class is a suggested donation of $10. If you don't have it to give, that's totally fine. If you do, I will be posting my Venmo in the comments below. If for whatever reason you don't have Venmo and need to use something else, feel free to reach out to me directly. I am also doing private yoga lessons for a one-on-one experience where I help tailor a sequence to you, your body, and its capabilities. We can focus on strength, we can focus on flexibility, mobility, entirely dependent on what you want to do. So if that is something you would like to do, reach out to me and we can set that up. Otherwise, I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Stay safe, make sure to wash your hands frequently, stay home as much as you can, and enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.